exponential functions. Example 5. A factory purchased a 3D printer in 2010. The value of the printer is modeled by the function f of x is equal to 30 times 0.93 in exponent x, where x is the number of the years since 2010. What is the value of the printer after 10 years? So now that we go here and let's find out how much was the value of after 10 years. So we take the function f of x. Let me write here f. Because it's for 10 years, let me write here 10. Let me denote this by 10. And is equal with the 30. The initial value is 30. We don't know it's $30, 30,000, 30, $100. We don't care, but is a 30. 0.93. 0.93. And in exponent x, which in this case we have after 10 years, so we have a 10. And let's calculate this value of the computer after 10 years. So let me take the calculator, and let's put calculator in this side here, and we have a 0.93 in exponent 10 is equal. Then we multiply by the initial value, which is a 30, and we get a 14.5. So the value is a 14.5. So it's 14.5. And we want to know, for example, in the first 10 years, how much it was the loss of the value of the printer. In the first, let me write this is with a small l, with the index 10. And in the first 10 years, let me write here with a prime. And this we can find out by the initial value. It was a $30. The originally was 30. And then the value was 14.5 after 10 years. So we are looking how much it was the loss. Minus 14.5. 14.5. And L0, when we take L10 prime, it means that in the first 10 years we're looking for the loss of the value, how much is going to lose the value of the printer is going to be, let me make this positive, plus 30 is 15.5. Let's approximate this around 15.5. So it lost the value for $15.5. Let's imagine this is a 15.5. And now we are looking now for the second. Does the computer lose more the value in the first 10 years or in second 10 years after it was purchased? So now we are looking for 20 years. How much is going to be the value of the 3D printer after 20 years? So let me write here, instead of the x here, I will write a 20, because I'm calculating after 20 years what is going to be the value of the printer 3D. And it's going to be this way, 30. And here is a 0.93. 0.93. And everything now in exponent 20. And now we are trying to calculate how much is going to be the value. Let me take a calculator. And now we have here 0.93. 93 in exponent 20. It turns out to be 0.234, etc. But we multiply this by 30. And we get around 7. So is 7. Let me approximate 7. So this is a 7. And now we are looking here, for example, for 20 years, how much was the loss. Let's say here is L20. L20, for 20 years, how much it lost its value. So we know the initial value was a $30. And now in the end was a $7 after 20 years. So if we take in this now, and if we are calculating, it's easy because it's 23. 30 minus 7 is $23. So after 20 years, the printer D lost the value for $23. But now we are looking here for 20 years. We are looking here for 20 years, how much money it lost. For 20 years, lost first the value, what it was for the first 10 years. Let me write this L prime T. So for first 10 years, how much was the value? Plus the second 10 years. The second 10 years, let me denote with a different denotation, with a small L. And here, let me write with the L. And this L here, let me write with a second. So let signify this is of the second 10 year. And now I'm going here to substitute for 20 years was $23. $23. And for the first 10 years, how much we lost was $15.5. Let me write here is a 15.5 and 15.5. And for the second one was, here is plus the second 10 year. Let me write here the second 10 year. I'm rewriting this second 10 year. So here is 10. And here we write the second. So now, if we subtract everything by 20, by a 15.5, we subtract both sides, and we get 23 minus 15.5, minus 15.5. We get the value is 7.5. So when we solve this for L10, so L in the second 10 years is going to lose the value of the printer for $7.5. 7.5. And now we look in this value. In these 10 years, they lost more in the first and second year, from 2010 to 2020, or from 2020 to 2030. So the more they lost the value here. Let me write here. They lost the more value the printer. Let me write with abbreviation in the first 10 years.